every book can help you, but it's only the Bible that can save you. So, wonderful people, we are glad to be live on your screens today. Today we want to dive into something personal, something very powerful. We want to look at the mindset makeover. I mean, what do you read about? We want to look into the concept of reading. Do you read? And today, if you read, join the discussion. And if you don't read, we have something juicy for you. And we are going to share a link where you would go to and look at various books that you want to read. And this conversation is not just about recommendation of books. No, it's about pages that changes lives, pages that shapes us, pages that, turns your whole identity to something and someone that you really envision yourself to be. So stay tuned and let's have this fruitful discussion. So why do you think people find it boring to read?
Well, I would say one, lack of time, busy work schedules, and some too have some form of disability to reading.
Okay.
These days there are lots of distractions, family appointments or family ties, busy work schedules. These days, living in places like Accra, even students leave the house around 4 a.m. and you see them by the road and come to the house in the evening and then repeats the cycle each day. Do you think the child will feel comfortable after going through all these stress and then still find time to read?
That's one major point to our discussion today. Mindset. Move out of your comfort zone. It's a book we talk about. So stay tuned, let's talk about that book. Regardless of your circumstance, you have to change your mindset, right? So I was coming to answer your question negatively. I wouldn't say yes, I would say no. Because I understand the circumstance that the person might find him or herself. However, he can't be in that comfort zone forever. What if, no opportunity presents itself? Like, would you be in that circumstance for that long time? No, you should break the boundary.
I get that.
Yes.
I get that.
And because that's one of the main reasons why people don't read.
I get that. I have my own personal experience I can share. But it still didn't prevent me from reading.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Not everybody can be like you.
Fine.
You mentioned moving out of your comfort zone. Everybody has his or her unique strength.
Right.
Someone can't. Someone will get tired. Someone will read about 2 or 3 lines and put it away.
Are you defending them?
I'm not defending them.
Are you justifying what they are doing? Because we are here to change their mindset.
I am not defending anybody.
Yes.
But I'm stating the reality. Someone will put it in the comment section that you haven't gone through it. That is why I'm saying it like that.
Are you sure? Now, let me share a story. When I was doing my national service, right, after uni, I was working with one mining company. I was going for night shift, morning shift. You are tired. You don't have the time to read. Hey, shout outs to Jeff Abwaje. I know you're watching this video, Jeff Abwaje. He's been one of the good guys that I've liked. He's developed my reading habit. Right? I used to not like reading, but at the point he was on his status, he would just be preaching, read. You know, Ghanaians, they say, if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. Right? Yes. So I perceived that I don't have time, but he was like, anytime you're about to sleep, even if it's 10 minutes, just read. So I was like, oh, but I call night shift to my bread. When he said the entire come to sleep, I was thinking, the normal times I read I was thinking, but I later realized, oh no, when I go for night and I come back in the morning, and then I made that sleep. Yes. So it means that before I sleep, even if it's 5 minutes, I should just read. Now, the more I did that, it became sort of a habit, and it, stimulated my interest for reading,
and it became
part of me. So I loved to read, and so I had to move out of my comfort zone to understand that reading is a must, right?
Yes.
There's a quote that says that if you want to be ordinary, then don't read.
Wow.
Yes. If you want to be an ordinary person, then don't read. So, reading should be something that is a must for everybody because it opens our vision, it makes us creative, it makes us understand like who we are and what we should even go after. You get the point? So
Yes.
the concept or the idea that you don't have time, I don't think it should be that way. And I'll talk about a book that will make you appropriate your time very well.
So it's a matter of priorities.
Priorities.
Setting priorities right.
Yes.
Well, people find time to watch telenovelas
Right.
and other programs on TV,
Mm.
but don't find time to read.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Yes. Lots of distractions now. Now, there are even tools, right? Aside these objections that you're talking about that people give that you don't want to read. I've heard it so many times. Me, I'm not the reading type. I want my movie, I'm interested to see her. So, you know, there are a lot of kids that they are not really focused when they go to classroom. But when you give them movies, when you give them cartoons, like they can watch easily and remember each of like every character, dito.
Is it not that those kids are more like someone will see evidence or visual?
Yes.
Like they learn by seeing,
Yes, by
whatever.
seeing. Yes,
Yeah.
and people also do by hearing, right? But we shouldn't be limited by these, I mean, sort of definitions, right?
Oh, there are people like that.
Yes, naturally there are, like, but to a certain extent, we can break the boundary. Not necessarily moving out of that visual state. I mean, you learn through vision. I mean, through visuals.
Yes.
Like that's not what I mean. But I'm saying that there are tools right now. You can just put a book to an AI tool. You can just listen to it. Audio books. Like these times, it's not just about hard copy. We have ebooks. You can listen to your books each and every time. You can go to YouTube. I remember this book. As a man thinketh, so is he. Right? Good.
Yeah.
The first time I remember I wanted to read that book so badly, but I realized that I wasn't having time. I think that was back then when I was on campus in university. So I found out there is a YouTube version of that, right? Then I just played it on YouTube. Then I was just listening to it. I grasped all the lessons I wanted to learn. Then I moved on. After I'm done reading, I didn't have to go pick the book online and read. I had to just listen to it. So if you feel you don't have to pick your phone, your laptop to read like reading sentences, you can just listen to it. And one thing I love about reading is that it makes you focused.
Sure.
It stimulates your focus.
Enhances your creativity.
Yes,
skills.
your attention, how you can be attentive to something. Because just like you are saying, you can be very distracted. Your phone, the notifications popping up and everything to be distracted from reading.
Social media.
But the more you try to read and disregard all these norms, right? It makes you focus the more. So it teaches you about focus. It teaches you about attention.
I speak about interest the more. So should it be about read something that you are interested in, so that each time, like the example you cited, you come back from work, from night shift, you get to the house. If you have a passion for a particular topic or subject or a particular article, something will prompt you in your head, hey, there's this article about this that I am interested in. Let me read 5 minutes before I go to bed.
Right.
So is it basically about interest, or just read about something for reading's sake, or something that will improve your vocabulary?
I think interest also plays a role, right? You have to
Yes.
find
A very big role.
Yes.
You should have an interest in something. For me, I have interest in a lot of things,
Right.
but I love computers and smart devices. And this reintroduction of artificial intelligence with computers and softwares and all, I love them. So I always read something about it, how I can use it to my benefit. These days, you mentioned audiobooks. You don't need to hard copy books to read. You can let an AI tool read it for you. You can let an AI tool summarize it for you. If you don't know about it, it's easy. There are several forms or several ways of reading books that are easier now You don't have to read from the preface or the chapters and sub-chapters till the end. You can let an AI tool summarize it for you. You can have various ways that you can get access to these books. If you want the hard copy books, you can get it and then be reading to enhance your reading knowledge. But if you want to grasp the most important aspects of the book so that it can improve your thinking or something, you just get these tools and then they will summarize it for you. And then you mentioned soft copies, hard copies. You know, these books we speak of. There is hard copy, there is soft copy. The hard copy is just the physical book in your hands. These days, people don't carry the books anymore. Few people carry the books, but the rest of them are soft copies. People call e-books, yes, that we download on our smartphones and our tablets, and then we carry it everywhere we go, and then we read, and it shapes our thinking and renews our mind. So if you are not exposed to the e-book part or the soft copy part, is that not limiting you? Because someone will say, I feel I make a book. You might think everybody knows there's something called e-book, but not everybody knows that there's something like that.
Yeah, but if you don't know, you know now. I mean, there's e-book, yes. I mean, like I said, we would put a link in the bio. Any book you want to read at all, like just go there and just type the link of the book. You get the book and you can read it. I mean, books gives us inspiration. Right? It motivates us. It helps us to become disciplined. I mean, it should become a habit for everyone. Right? You talked about interest. Now, one thing I want us to talk about when it comes to interest is that you shouldn't let your interest limit you.
Sure.
I'm interested in engineering, so I'm just going to do just engineering, whereas I'm not going to look at other things that can personally develop me, right? So it's not just about interest plays a major role, and that one I don't doubt it, right? Sure. However, we shouldn't be limited by just interest. I always love the point of breaking the boundary to do something that naturally you may not do.
I would say be curious enough.
Yes, curiosity. Yes. Just be like, oh, mommy reading shit, mommy nyan shit. It's like
reading shit.
Personally, for movies I do it. For some movies, I'll just do a quick review of the movie before I watch the movie.
Sure.
So I'll just like me playing and I will just do it fast. Then I'll watch from beginning to end under like a minute or two. So I'll be like, oh, I can watch this movie. Then I'll watch.
Some even punch the title into their browsers to read about it if it is a movie that can keep them on their seat or on their beds. Yes, before they watch the full movie, rather than skipping it through.
Now let's talk about how we can incorporate AI tools to help us to help our reading skills, right? Yes, I mean these days, trust me, AI is not an option anymore. If you are a graduate and you are not even thinking about AI, if SHS, even JHS, like in as much as you are able to go for your dad's phone to watch cartoons, you have that idea to go for your dad's phone to watch cartoons. You should have the idea to go for your dad's phone to read about an AI tool. I mean, these skills, like, it's not an option anymore. It's not an option.
This is your time.
It has become part of us. Like, we can't run away from it anymore. And so we have to know how to read about them, learn the skill, apply it, and move on with it to become part of us.
These AI tools can teach you anything.
Anything.
You know, back in the day, those I went to school with, around GSS thereabout, when your teacher gives you a note, they write it on the board and write it in a book. If your notes gets missing, that's the end of your life. But these days, is it the same? There is internet, there's these AI tools that can teach you everything from A to Z. What stops you from taking advantage? Nothing stops you from taking advantage. So, in a world where the whites see reading as the means to hide truth from blacks. So they say. I believe this time that narrative should be crossed. Because with these AI tools, any information that you want, it can get it for you.
Right.
Some even can get articles out of the question you have asked. Only if you input the right prompt. If you ask the right questions, if I say input the right prompt, when we say prompt, it's the meaning in there. You ask the right questions. The artificial intelligence, or respond to the right questions. Say these are questions in here. They call it prompt. If these are questions in here, they will give you answers with even example, give you cite examples for you. All you have to do is cycle through whatever you've been given, get what you want out of it, and off you go within seconds.
And that's why I was saying that we shouldn't let interest limit us, because we should all be interested in AI. Just imagine someone who say, no, I'm a biology student, I don't like AI.
At this point.
No. You can't say, like I'm saying, AI is not optional anymore.
At this point.
Canva, ChatGPT, even CapCut, we have CapCut AI.
Sure.
Right. So
Everywhere.
for editing, like everything
Everywhere.
you're doing, like learn AI,
Everywhere.
read about it, let it maximize how you think, because these things they become part of us, right?
Even these tools we use every day, Facebook, WhatsApp, all of them have AI in them.
Yes.
So we can't run away
Yes,
from
you
it.
can't run away from it. So you have to learn it. Recently they introduced Grok on
See.
X, right? So if you're not utilizing it, it means that you are not moving with the world, so to speak, in quotes, right? So you have to be well abreast with all this stuff, understand how to use them, and you can't do it without reading.
No,
If you are not interested in reading, how can you break this boundary?
you can't.
You can't.
It will be difficult.
So you see, reading is very important, right?
Yes.
And it even builds our emotional intelligence as well.
Yes.
Yes. People are stuck in life because they don't know what to do. People are depressed. They just need one book, just one book, to give you a breakthrough in life. It's just one book. So it's about you having the mind and the interest to read. Don't feel like reading them in the year then. Why am I reading? Like, we go pay scar, what's me reading?
Charlie, make
Is
the
it
money.
make the money? If you really want to understand money, you have to read. I mean, that's the principle. You have to read.
Sure.
You get it? These days, people even say that certificates, right? When you graduate from uni, from school, they just teach you like you've run away from illiteracy, but you've not run away from poverty.
You are welcome to the world.
To the world. And when you are welcome to the world, like I listened to, I've forgotten the guy's name
Different
on one
world.
podcast. Yes, Futurist Kwame. He was like, hey, what bad? You are saying like you've graduated from school, you are coming to apply your accounting skills. I would say, then you mention one topic you learned in school, like you're coming to use it to apply. No, shit. You have to learn on the job. You have to like get some skill, and you have to read. You have to be open-minded. It's not just about what graduating say no, as if you know everything. It's not true.
Get the principles.
You get the understand the
to the
principles. Get the point. So reading there, you can't dodge reading. Now let's look at, like I mentioned, AI tools, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to disregard AI tools. If trust me, that this is what I'm doing, and if you want to do it to help you, just list what you want to learn and start learning them. Start learning them. Like have the time, make the time to watch them, and it will help you.
There are sites you can learn all these.
Yes, sites you can learn. I mean, these times you don't have to go to like school, like
You don't have to pay.
you
You don't have to
go.
pay to learn certain things.
People are teaching it free on YouTube, right? There are a lot of people that are giving us free knowledge, and sometimes even if you have to pay, I hear that you have to pay. So let's invest in ourselves, and that is all about reading of books. When you read books, you invest in yourself.
Sure.
That is the basic truth, and that is what we have to do.
Yeah.
It is not just about when you are reading. What I've realized, it's not just about you reading. You read to become. You get the point. So you read to become. Just like the Bible says that don't become hearers only, but be a doer of the word. So when you are reading, don't just read. Reading helps us to become. To become who? To become what the book is telling us to. Now, what's the favorite?
There's this book I read. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Its core idea is consistent habits develop into long-term results.
You know why I like that book? When did I read it? Yeah, in 1985, right? I think I read it in 1983. Atomic Habit is powerful. And if you've never read that book, it's a game changer. Like, it's a game changer. You don't know how to plan your life. You always feel like this task is so big. You don't know how to break tasks down, achieve it, smaller steps, like tiny improvements. Like, that's what brings about the change. Right. So it's a game changer. You have to read. Tell me more about that book, Atomic Habits.
Well, I mentioned earlier that is backdoor.
Okay.
I mentioned earlier that there are certain books that when you read, sometimes you feel like, hey, market true.
I know, right?
It feels like that. And whatever you plan on doing, don't look at the big picture. Just as you said, break it down to the smallest thing that you can do. Do it repeatedly each time. Just as you said, with reading for 5 minutes, 10 minutes before you go to bed. We've said it all, but they broke it down into more like into how you do it, why you do it, and for which purpose.
Yes.
Gradually, you get to your goal. Good. So more like consistency, broken down into small sections and with consistency.
I don't know.
You hit your goal.
The idea seems like, I don't know if you've read Eat That Frog before.
You've read that yet?
Yes. If you haven't read that book, Eat That Frog, I think it was introduced to me in June. That book is powerful.
Eat That Frog.
Eat That Frog. Funny title, but preaches a serious truth.
It brings about a lot of curiosity.
Serious.
Serious.
A very funny title, but preaches serious truth. Now, the frog is not a frog. The frog is like a task, a challenge, right? So eat that challenge. Is that overcome that challenge.
Yes.
Now, it preaches the idea that it's mostly you may want to run away from a bigger task. You have a lot of tasks, but you see, it's hardly really a challenge. Next week.
It happens all
next
the time.
month.
It happens all the time.
It happens all the time. Now, if you read that book will make you understand that you have to eat the big meat first. That big frog, eat that one first. Because the likelihood that you procrastinate is very high as compared to the others. So the best thing is that you do that one first. So that book simply teaches that do the difficult task first. That's the principle. Just make sure that you are done with the difficult ones, because the others you are 100% sure that you're not going to procrastinate. But for the big one, you know that then as I did video, I'm finishing next week. It's like when you're on campus. This topic, no, let me put this one on the back. This one I can finish it within a week. You are going to the other one. You get another small ones that will come up. Then you want to finish it up. Then the big ones, you keep on procrastinating. It is very bad. So eat that frog. I'll put the link there. If you haven't read it, go for that.
Eat that frog.
Yeah, eat that frog. Yes.
What he said has prompted me of a book I read some years ago.
Okay.
A book by Kani about effective public speaking. He has written several ones, but the one I read mentioned something. You said something and it came back.
Okay.
He said when you are going to speak in public and you are climbing up the stage, it feels like you are stepping on eggs.
Okay.
Every step you take feels like
You are breaking an egg.
You are breaking an egg. Be bold enough to step on the egg.
Okay.
Step on it with confidence,
Alright.
and everything will be fine. So it's more like a balance. You need to just more like put a balance on ourselves. Speak to yourself, your inner self. Just as we said, reading books opens up bigger doors. Like it puts certain things in our head that, after all, what? It is the fear of not knowing that's killing me.
Yes.
I should just read to kill that fear. When that is done, I believe whatever task, anything that we want to do, we will find ways and means of doing it.
You're right.
Baby steps, small steps, we'll get to the goal.
Very true. Very true. Can you talk about any other book?
There's this book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. I think I've said portions of it in what I said.
Okay.
It's more like
The title again.
The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry.
Of Harry.
Either yen fast.
Okay, Harry.
I didn't hear
Ruthless-
yen
Ruthless
elimination of Harry.
Okay.
I didn't hear. But if you take time, just as we have said earlier, break whatever we are doing down. Baby steps, slowly, we'll be able to take care of all the loopholes. And by the time we get to the goal, you are perfect, or you have accomplished it as easy as that.
Ruthless elimination
of Harry.
Harry. I mean, I like the title.
It blends scripture, personal experience, and cultural critique to show how modern life's peace
Okay.
is unsustainable. Drawing from it picked certain concepts from the Bible to defend certain points. I don't want us to go talk about the book fully, but try it out. Get the book and then read it as well.
When it got within this year, I think early March or something. I don't know. I was watching one podcast and the guest on that podcast mentioned the gifted hands. I don't know if you've ever heard of that book.
Yes, I
The
have,
Gifted
but I
Hands.
haven't read it.
Charlie, go and read that book by Dr. Ben Carson. Wow. You know, people usually say that, what we human on your fault, right? But say, we human, it is your fault. It is not your fault when you are born into poverty. But if you die in poverty, it is your fault. Now, the principle that the book teaches is loving. It is loving. Now, Dr. Ben Carson, someone who has a very poor background, right, has bad grades in school. You are confused though, you become depressed. But because of faith, because of determination, because of persistence, because of his personal beliefs and the love that his mother shown him, he turned into a neurosurgeon. A neurosurgeon, like you can't ever imagine.
What you
So you
said,
see, it's about when you read books and it changes your lives. And sometimes it's just about one book, like just a book, just go and read that book. Dr. Ben Carson, Gifted Hands. It teaches us that you see, God can change your life from one moment to the other when you allow Him.
you know, I've come across certain people who didn't go to school to a certain level, but with determination and the yearn for more attitude, the curiosity level is high, always wanting to read or learn something, has taken them to a higher pedestal. I am not saying don't go to school. Please, if you have the opportunity, go to school. Go if all is well, go to the highest level of education you can get. But there are certain people God has blessed them with that courage and more like the confidence to go through that hurdle to that pedestal.
Yes.
Those people were able to get there through a lot of reading a lot more of I'm curious about this, let me read it. I'm curious about this, let me read it. The more you read it, it shapes your mind, opens up a big vacuum or space in your head to grasp knowledge. And when you have that knowledge, trust me, it can take you far.
Yeah. But you have to read that book. If you haven't read that book,
but for me, eat that frog.
Yeah, eat that frog. It's powerful. It's powerful. It's powerful.
For me, eat that frog.
It's powerful. Make sure that and when you read that book, you know, someone is saying that, oh, I'll read it tomorrow. That's procrastination.
Yes.
That's procrastination. And
Start now.
Start now.
Go to your search bar
Yes.
and type the name.
Yes. If you feel so like so difficult for you to, I said I'll put the link there so that you just download the books easily and don't procrastinate on any of them. Just hit it, and just read it. Now, to another book I read, Boundaries by Henry Cloud and I think John Townsend. Yes. Boundaries. Yes. It's one great book. You know, in this life, people want to carry everyone's responsibility on their shoulder, especially when you are a Christian. When you are a believer, you want to like, so one time I was just preaching like, Charlie, you can't save everybody. No, you cannot save everybody. You can't do that.
But you can help everybody.
You can help everybody, but you can't save everybody. It's like you preaching the gospel and converting everybody to become a Christian.
Even for that one, it is arguable that you can help everybody.
No, you can't help.
You can't help everybody.
You can't help everybody.
You can actually do your best.
Yes.
And leave the rest to God.
It's about understanding boundaries, even with Jesus Christ. And that book, one of the things I like about that book is that it blends scripture with our daily life routine. Right? It blends scripture. Whatever it says, it attaches scripture and inference to it. And you have to read that book, Boundaries. You see, it teaches you that you have a responsibility. Where that responsibility ends. And the starting point of someone else's responsibility.
Yeah.
Right?
We
don't assume everybody's responsibility. And it's common when you're a Christian.
Yeah.
Because when you go to church, it will be a burden, you're obeying. I'm not saying, you are supposed to carry each and everybody's burden.
Sure.
But it doesn't mean that go and carry the person on your neck. No. You remember the part of the Bible where Jesus Christ had to resurrect Lazarus, right? Do you think Jesus Christ didn't have the power to rule away the stone? He had all the power.
Yeah.
But he was, Charlie,
yes.
You people go and roll the stone away.
Yeah.
Then let me enter that tomb and resurrect Lazarus. He did it, and he did it his as well. So it's not about you, like that book, Boundary by Henry Cloud. Just go and read that book. You know where you have to take responsibility and where you don't have to take responsibility. You know how to say no, how to say yes, and that is it. The Bible also teaches that. Let your yes be yes, and you know be no.
It's more like a movie I watched. I've forgotten the title, but it said, if you want something done if you want something from God, prepare yourself for what you want God to do to you.
Right.
And he used a farmer as an example. And he said, prepare your field for the rain. Don't wait for the rain before you prepare your field. Prepare your field for the rain.
So that book perfectly teaches that everyone has a part to play.
Sure.
Don't act like a superhero. No. Jesus Christ, who had all the power, would have, like, God can turn all of us into robots. He'll be like, hey, we'll be here, then we pay. But no, that is not how it should be. That's why we have the free human agency, right? Everyone has to act according to his or her will.
Yeah.
God has just taught you what is right and what is wrong. He has it, like he's allowed inspired men to put it down for us through the Bible.
Yeah.
It is up to you to do it. If you don't do it, it's not God's fault. No. So that is the book Boundary. It is perfect. You know, last week, was it last week or last 2 weeks? It took me about a week to say no to someone. Yes. Now, after saying no, I went to one of my friends, I went to his deal and I was like, Charlie, saying no is hard. It's difficult sometimes. It's not easy.
Especially when you feel like you have interest in whatever the person
Yes, yes. I had to think about it.
rings in your head.
I had to think about this so well. I was like, Charlie, I was like, Peter, should I go? I was like, hey, Charlie. Like, we had to think about it, and I finally decided, like, no. So, if you don't know how to say no, no is a skill, eh? It's like, it's a powerful skill, and you should know how to say it. And that book is perfect. If you are feeling like, oh dear, and people will take you for granted if you don't know how to apply these things. They say, maybe this will be a whole and you can say, yeah, oh yeah. No, you have to have the boundary. You have to know that, nah, this is for me, this is not for me. I'm someone that, even in the house, I'll not share the story, I'll quit. I had to say something, but I'll not say it for the camera. Maybe I can say it behind camera, but not here. So,
I mean, come at you.
Yeah, so I mean, boundary is perfect, right? One other powerful book that I can't leave out, like, I have to say it, and I know you've read that book. If you haven't read that book, it should be the book you should read. I mean, the moment you leave this podcast.
Before you bring that, there are also what we call soft skills.
Right. Okay.
There are also what we call soft skills that we normally don't learn on campuses or in schools.
Yes.
That's right after campus comes at us when we find ourselves in work settings or in our workplaces. Soft skills that you may need wherever you are at your workplaces, wherever you find yourself. Communication skills. For those who did communication, fine. But communication skills, teamwork, emotional intelligence, time management, problem solving skills. Some of these soft skills, you will not learn it on campus. It is up to you. Go to your search bar, type soft skills, and you will get all that.
Right.
Learn it, and then
It's powerful.
read about it and get educated.
And one thing I like about this is that sometimes you may not be fixated on learning it, but you realize that you are learning it. And it only happens when you are reading.
Sure.
In the book Atomic Habits, it teaches how we can relate with people.
Yeah.
Right? It teaches how we can manage ourselves. A book like Think and Grow Rich by, I think, Napoleon Hills. That book, very powerful. Now, when you are reading books like these, you are not really intentional about learning soft skills. Like, you are fixated, like, okay, I'm learning about emotional intelligence. I'm fixated about learning time management. But you pick up a book and you are reading, then you realize you are learning time management. That's why book is a fundamental, like reading is a fundamental skill for everybody.
When it comes to books, there are lots of books that we haven't mentioned.
Yes.
48 Laws of Power, Imitation is Limitation.
Right.
All these books.
Who moved that cheese? Who moved that cheese? Have you read that book?
I read a portion of it.
Wow. Those of you who are still living in your comfort zone, run away. Run away. Who moved that cheese? Like, run away. That book. My goodness. Now let me tell you about one powerful book. Then
you mentioned it.
Yes. The Rich Dad Poor Dad. Hey, I know you are giving me that. Like, if you haven't read that book, when I was in uni, my brother told me to read that book. I read that book and I was like, what's this? Like, what is this? And there are lots of things that I realized that, you see, I came to understand that I had the mentality that maybe it's for the Abrofo. Me to live into my own. Right.
My first read, I felt like that.
Yes. When I started reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, that's how I felt. Like, Charlie, because these people, we realized that they started from nowhere. When they started working in the library, like bringing up comic books to sell and all that. You see, they were bringing up. So I'm saying, Charlie, comic books. You not get that, but that book teaches you how to be creative.
Yeah.
How to challenge your thinking. How to expand your thinking and everything.
There is always a way out.
There is always a way out. And they be and I always say it. If I have this knowledge that I have now, once I was in uni, bro. Can you say I'm a millionaire?
It happens
Because
like that.
university is a fertile ground.
It happens like that.
Schools, SHS, and it's not just about one university. A lot of you, like uni is a fertile ground to like sell your product. And I shame Yama, and it's not too late. I'm coming for all of you. Yes, I'm coming for all of you. You know, that book is powerful. It teaches you not to be, not necessarily don't be hardworking, but don't be like I'm really working for money. But it teaches you how to work smartly for your money to work for you.
Sure.
Get the point. So it's a powerful book.
You know, I mentioned earlier that the first time I read that book, I felt like, nah, I'm not doing enough. Like, the way I felt, I read it again and I said, okay, fine, I can still do something.
Yeah. So it's one powerful book that you shouldn't leave behind. I mean, it also teaches about financial literacy, right?
Yeah.
Yes, about a point where one dad wanted to, like, was in the mind not doing a job security. I should just secure my job and advising the kids, so I didn't really know what I know why.
Yeah.
Whilst the other was, I mean, storming the case to learn financial literacy, right? And these skills, people are teaching people for money, but you can learn it in books for free. I'm blessed, like right now, man. I'll not say, but I'm telling you that books have shaped me. They have shaped who I am now. They are helping me to rebuild my identity and everything. And I'm glad I'm learning all these things. Like showing me and teaching me financial literacy and everything. You know, but before we end, let's talk about the book of books. Like the most powerful book to ever exist in this world. The book that has been bent. The book that has, because of the book, people have been killed. Like the book that has survived lots of persecution, lots of criticisms, lot of defamation. Still, that book is in existence.
Who can guess the answer?
Put it down in the comment section for us. Right? The book of books, the Holy Bible. If you've never ever thought of reading the Bible, I don't know. I don't know what to say. If I should say I pity you or something. You know, it has suffered so many persecution. People are saying that it is contradicting, it is confusing. Trust me, it only preaches the truth. It is not contradictory. It is not full of confusion. Yes, whereas there may be passages that are difficult to understand, because even Peter spoke of it, that some of Paul's writing are difficult to understand, which totally I agree. Because there are certain passages you read, Charlie, you have to go and read before you understand. So yes, there may be passages that are difficult to understand, but never say that it is contradictory. Maybe you've not read well. And these times, I mean, it's one of the main reasons why we are having a lot of so-called religions, a lot of skeptics around, people broadcasting religious difference and all that. People don't sit down to read. They are basing their faith on just essays. They'll be a kind of wanting and I don't know. Just go and read for yourself. Take the Bible, read for yourself. Like you are reading something to get some benefits, right? Because your salvation dangles on how you understand the Bible. Because remember Jesus' words, right? He's going, he's coming. And when he comes, it is his words that he's going to judge us with. And it's in the Bible. So imagine you not being particular, intentional to study your Bible. Make it like a real duty, a responsibility to study it. And the Bible is so powerful that, you know, all these books we are talking about, they have a focus.
They all can be found in the Bible.
Yes, that is one. And that's what I want to talk about. Every book you talk about has a focus. Let's say, Eat That Frog. It helps us to avoid procrastination, right? Procrastination. A book like Gifted Hands, it helps us to understand that our background do not define us. Rich Dad Poor Dad teaches about financial literacy, Atomic Habits. Like all the books, they have a focus, but the Bible speaks to every part of the human life, either financial, emotional, psychological. Every part the Bible speaks to us. So it's one book that you can't run away from, right? Wisdom for direction in life.
Number one.
Comfort. Teaches us comfort in pain. So you can't put that book aside. The Bible is our guide to life. Every book can help you, but it's only the Bible that can save you in this world.
Wow.
If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. Subscribe to the channel and help us broadcast this knowledge. And
Don't forget to share.
there are a lot of AI tools that I forgot to talk about. Now, I'll put it in the comment section and just check it out. If you ever want to use any AI to read your books, if you don't have time, when you are going for your jogging, your strolls, I mean, anywhere that you wouldn't have time to read, your AirPods, your earpiece, you can just listen to them through like these accessories, right? You see these AI tools, and it will help you a lot. So,
At voice,
yeah,
Uta, they are all tools that you can use.
Now, we'll put it in the comment section, so please check it out and do not forget to share and do not forget to subscribe as well. To meet next time,
Don't forget to listen to your pulse.
Nice, thank you, and bye bye.